Joan Vassos justifies reason for no bed in fantasy suite. October 19, 2024. Although the Golden Bachelorette star, Joan Vassos, has made it clear she will have a very different fantasy suites experience, now she is defending her reasons. She discusses why she was adamant that there would be no bed in the fantasy suite during her season. Joan Vassos sets her standards high. Undoubtedly, the Golden Bachelorette is a breath of fresh air for many Bachelor Nation fans. But earlier in the season, fans heard that Joan Vassos was making a huge change to the fantasy suites. Without a doubt, Joan wants to be a good role model for her kids and everyone in her circle of influence. Undeniably, she lives by a strict moral code. Although she agreed to keep the special night in her journey, she was sure to do it her way. Would it even be a Bachelor Nation show without fantasy suites? In many ways, Joan Vassos shows her commitment to her values by removing the option of having sex. While Joan isn't anti-sex by any means, she is sending the message that one partner is plenty. She says, "I'm not a person who can have a physical relationship with more than one person." When she talks about her journey, she knows she wants to keep the fantasy suites in the show. However, she stipulated that it would be purely focused on relationship building. Furthermore, she adds, "I wanted it to be agreed that we would talk and have the conversations we need to have off camera." Admittedly, she didn't stay the night with the guys, she adds, "We didn't spend the night together." Instead, she made it clear up front that it was a boundary she was unwilling to cross. Correspondingly, she was adamant that there was no bed in the room. Instead, the evening was completely dedicated to emotionally being closer to one another. She was very thankful the men respected her wishes. Joan Vassos craves intimacy. Furthermore, Joan Vassos doesn't believe it is healthy for her to start any relationship with doubt. She says, "You gotta think, the person you're potentially ending up with probably does not want to think of you last week, having slept with the guy he hangs out with." Then she cringes, "It's just weird." But the time on those dates is sacred to her. She knows that it gives her intimacy with the guys who may be her future partner. While it won't be the typical sexual tease, she is confident the time is a gift for them to ask and answer difficult questions in the privacy of a room with a sofa. Undoubtedly, she wants to ensure the heart is in the right place before she takes it to the next step. She reserves the right to choose. While Joan Vassos has made her stance that she has taken sex off the table, she doesn't expect that of other Bachelor Nation stars. She is thankful for the right to choose her values and cherish the physical act in her own time. However, she doesn't think others are wrong for their choices. She says, "Everybody needs to do it their way. I'm not judging." She adds, "The physical part is important at every age, but I think it's more important when people are younger. Each of us needs to engineer the journey so it works best for us." She knows her family is watching. Additionally, Joan Vassos confesses, "I don't love public displays of affection." Continuing, "That's great you're doing it, but no one really wants to see it. I was very conscious of that." Likewise, she knew that there would be passionate moments on the Golden Bachelorette, and even forewarned her 4 kids she would be kissing a lot. However, in actuality, she has been reserved with her kisses. She has only selectively shared 5 or 6 since the show kicked off. Admittedly, she still believes it is important to have a few smooches, saying, "But you have to find out if there's a spark." Since she is about to go to Pascal, Chalk, Guy, and Jordan's hometowns, there may be some spark testing on the horizon. The Golden Bachelorette airs Wednesdays at 8/7 C. What do you think about Joan Vassos' insistence on removing beds from the fantasy suites? Are you ready to find out who Joan will pick? What do you think the twist will be at the end of her Golden Bachelorette season? Send us your thoughts in the comments below. Joan Vassos, the poised and compassionate leading lady of the Golden Bachelorette, has consistently set herself apart as a woman with strong values, wisdom, and grace. As her season continues to unfold, Viewers have been captivated not only by her choices in men, but also by her approach to one of the most highly anticipated parts of any Bachelor Nation show, the fantasy suite. Joan made headlines earlier this season when she revealed that she was taking a different approach to the fantasy suites by removing the option of a bed, sparking conversations across social media and Bachelor Nation fan communities. This script will explore Joan's reasoning behind this decision, her commitment to her values, and how it has shaped her journey to find love. Joan Vassos sets her standards high. From the moment Joan Vassos stepped into the spotlight as the Golden Bachelorette, it was clear that her journey to find love would be different. With 4 children and a lifetime of experiences behind her, Joan came into this process knowing exactly who she is and what she stands for. One of the most significant decisions she made was setting a high standard for how she would navigate the fantasy suite, typically a place for contestants to explore physical intimacy in private without cameras. But for Joan, the fantasy suite represented something more, a chance to deepen emotional connections and have crucial conversations off camera. Joan's choice to remove the bed from the fantasy suite and her insistence that the night would be dedicated solely to conversation marked a departure from the usual format that Bachelor Nation fans have come to expect. This decision was rooted in Joan's desire to be a good role model, not only for her 4 children, but for the millions of viewers watching her season. She has openly shared her belief that love is built on a strong foundation of emotional intimacy, trust, and shared values, and she didn't want the pressure of physical intimacy to cloud that process. In Joan's own words, "I'm not a person who can have a physical relationship with more than one person." Her statement resonates with viewers who appreciate her commitment to maintaining her moral code, while also participating in a show that often emphasizes the importance of fantasy suite nights. By staying true to herself, Joan is sending a powerful message that it's possible to create a meaningful and respectful relationship without crossing personal boundaries. A different fantasy suite experience. While the fantasy suite has become synonymous with physical intimacy in the Bachelor franchise, Joan's approach focused on the emotional and intellectual aspects of relationships. She made it clear from the beginning that she would not be spending the night with any of the men, and that the experience would be about talking and connecting on a deeper level. "We didn't spend the night together," Joan shared, further explaining there was no bed in the room. Instead, she used the time to have important conversations that couldn't be captured on camera, allowing her and her potential partners to bond without the pressure of an audience. Joan's decision to exclude a bed from the fantasy suite is groundbreaking for the franchise, but it also reflects her values and her belief that love is more than just a physical connection. By setting this boundary, she has demonstrated to both her suitors and the audience that emotional intimacy is just as important, if not more so, than physical intimacy. The men on her season have respected her decision, and it has created a unique atmosphere where deep conversations take precedence over the usual steamy moments viewers expect from the fantasy suite. Joan Vassos has redefined what the fantasy suite can mean on the Golden Bachelorette. By removing the bed and focusing on emotional intimacy, she has stayed true to her values while still embracing the opportunity to find love. Her journey has inspired viewers to consider new ways of building connections and has proven that it's possible to participate in a show like The Bachelor while maintaining one's personal boundaries and beliefs. As the season comes to a close, all eyes are on Joan as she prepares to make her final decision. Will she find the lasting love she's been searching for? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, Joan's journey has been nothing short of inspiring. Outro. What do you think about Joan Vassos' insistence on removing beds from the fantasy suites? Are you ready to find out who Joan will pick? What do you think the twist will be at the end of her Golden Bachelorette season? Let us know in the comments below.